everybody's got a reason for being something in life. Whether you're a boxer, artist, comic book artist, you know, a filmer, or anything like that, yeah. And then some people who do more than one thing, they all have different reasons for each of the things they do, and that, I feel I've got the same thing to share. Hi, boy, it's TEMPHUiBIS here, and this is my first video of 2010, and I'm going to say that hopefully this is going to be a happy new year for everyone, and a happy new decade, as they say, you know, for everyone. So let's hope everything goes well. And I've decided to start off this year with saying why I become a music composer, and why did I become a music composer, and why did I become an animator as well. You know, becoming a music composer, yeah, was just starting here from when I was a child. I have explained this story a load of times already, but maybe I'll try and go into a bit more detail. Right, when I was young, about 3 to 4 years old, I wasn't allowed to play the games consoles. I was only able to watch my brother play it. I was a bit of a mischief person anyway, and I probably would have broke the consoles instead of playing them anyway, right? But I did used to sit down and just watch my brother play the consoles. And then when I used to watch him sit down and play the Commodore, I used to enjoy all the things I used to see, and I used to enjoy the music that I was hearing. I used to just love those synth sounds right there. Just right there and then, man. I used to enjoy, you know, hearing everything I saw as well as what I was seeing via the game. And then I would always play it. Where when I was old enough to play it, I would play it, and I used to hear the sounds myself, and I used to just enjoy everything. I even remember a time when I was supposed to be going to bed, and my mum, my mum was about to tell me to go to bed, but I know my brother was downstairs playing the Commodore because I could hear it, and my mum just allowed me just to go down and just sit down and watch him, and I went to bed late that night. So basically that night I was just sitting there just watching my brother play the console and everything, playing the Commodore. I was just enjoying everything, you know, the synths in everything, the melodies, the atmosphere of each song, even for the 8-bit or you know, chiptune era, was just perfect. Sooner or later I got the NES, and I used to play Double Dragon, those type of games, and sooner or later I did get Double Dragon 3, and that just had my best music in it ever. It was just music that would keep me in the game at all times. You'd play the game because you loved the game, but you also would play the game because the music moves you to play the game a lot as well. And right there I just knew that I had to do something with music, but I didn't know what to use. I mean, at the time I didn't know how people made music. I just thought music was just made out of nowhere. You know, it was kind of a hard thing, really. Sooner or later I saw an advert about something where you can make music with, and I've always asked for that, but I never knew what the softwares were. And then I just didn't know where to go. Then came music for the PlayStation 1, and that's where I could start making music, but I did not know how to start. I did not know how to do the music. I didn't know how to put a bass line down or nothing. I didn't even know what bass line was. I didn't know nothing. I had to just keep going from the start, and just keep going, and kept going better as I was going along. And I was doing rubbish and rubbish and rubbish. Then I noticed that there were songs that was already on there, you know, like to show how, to give examples how you make the music, and all the songs was by Cold Storage. And then I was thinking, yeah, Cold Storage, I think his music's wicked. You know, later on I started to hear more songs from him that he put on demos that came with a PlayStation magazine, and I was really into Cold Storage's music, you know. And then I found out later on that Cold Storage was the one who done the music for Wipeout, and I always did like the music for Wipeout as well, because I like the futuristicness in each of the tunes. By this time, this is when I was getting into the trance area of electronica music, and I was just basically into just each type of electronic music. And then later on I got contact to speak to Cold Storage, and he told me where I was going wrong with my music. You know, I would have a bass line clashing with my melodies because they were all in the wrong notes and stuff, so I didn't know just what music to do then. But when I started to get that sorted out, I wanted to start defining my own style of music. And with music on the PlayStation, by the time this was MTV Music Generator 2 on the PlayStation, by that time I started to realise that there's not enough sounds for me to create the sound that I wanted. And then Cold Storage had an old website when he saw where he writ down how he did one of the tunes for Wipeout, and he writ down that he used the Amiga amongst all his equipment. I was like, rah. So for a music game for the PS1, he used one of the old computers back in the day, which is the Amiga. And I said to myself, that is actually wicked. Then I knew, yeah, from hearing all those Commodore sounds and all those Nintendo and, you know, the 8-bit stuff, I'm thinking to myself, why don't I make all this? Why don't I make that type of music? And I said to myself, why don't I use the Commodore? Because there was a music synthesizer for the Commodore. Use that synthesizer with MTV Generator 2, because it has a sampler anyway. So I was starting to use the sampler, and this is where I started learning about sampling. And right there, that's when I just defined my style by using the Commodore. And then at the time I had Pocket Music for this, yeah, Pocket Music. And then I just said to myself, this is where I can just start really putting some different music together, you know. And then I first started this. I done a melody on one of my other songs. I changed the melody. It was a song called No Escape. That's on the leftovers that you can get from our website. If you've got the leftovers, then you hear No Escape. I started using the keyboard melodies on that. Then when I started to bring this and Commodore to it, that's when I did Scarnix. And the tune came out so different and lovely that I was just so happy that I just made different types of music right there. And I thought, how about if I just make like new age music but mix it with the electronica? And I was hearing more music from different games as well that kept on inspiring me. Fighter Maker was a game on the PS1 that no one liked. It got 3 out of 10, right? The reason why I got 3 out of 10 is because the fighting in it is too slow. It's a very bad fighting game. The edit mode was brilliant, but no one had the time and effort to sit down and manually make moves for all these characters, you know, and it was pretty hard, you know. But the music in Fighter Maker was well done. And I don't even know the artist who made the bloody music for the game, yeah? But I remember he done a tune here called Grease, and wow, the track was bloody inspiring, you know. And this is one of the reasons why I would still plug up my Nintendo in today and play it. The more I play these games, the more I enjoy the music, really. And I just like bringing out something different music wise. I mean, this is just what started it all, man. This is what got me into becoming a music composer, because I was playing the games, I was loving the music for the games, and I wanted to bring it towards you know, new ages of electronica and mix everything down to it, you know. And wow, it's just amazing, man, how it just started from there. It starts from just you listening to music, and bam, you're making music. So that's how I became a music composer. Now, what got me into animation was kind of a funky twist of things, right? Yeah, when I was a young boy, I always used to like fighting, you know, and not fighting as in like me fight other people, yeah, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I always used to like watching fighting, regardless if it was kung fu films, or if it was watching a boxing match on TV, or any other type of fighting, you know, it just, it's always just something that I always wanted to just like watching, and I would watch people fight here and there. In primary school I was a bit of a bully. I used to beat up other kids because I used to think I was better than them, and I always used to think of doing such violent things to them, you know, and I did violent things to some kids in school, things that I wish I never did, but I also always thought about doing violent things which I glad I never even done or attempted to do. But I used to be such a nasty piece of work, really, as they say, you know. When my brother was a child, he didn't used to do this much, but when I was a child, I used to go. I was some next mental kid, boy, and I went battering people, really. And it's kind of like you're watching all this fighting there, you love everything that, and sooner or later I got introduced to MMA, and sooner or later I was straight away I was like into it already. I was watching it, but then later on I'm just into it. Now today I'm into MMA as if, like, you know, I'm on UFC website every day, you know. I just like watching two men fight each other. I don't know why I like watching women fight each other. Like, I just like watching, I don't know why, I just like watching people fight each other. I like seeing all the different styles of kung fu, styles of karate and everything like that, yeah, just fighting each other. I used to be into wrestling a lot, but I did kind of get off it. You know, it was quite fake, and also the entertaining part of it to me has just left it, really. So I stopped watching wrestling, but I'm still watching beat 'em up films. I love playing beat 'em up games and that. So why did this come? So why does animation got to do with this? Well, later on, when you start to realise you don't want to really do these things to people, you don't want to hurt people, you don't want to beat up people. The situation was, you put anything you have in your head that's very violent that you feel you should do to a person, you make a character do it to another character. So you make a fighting type anime. And I believe this is how the people came up here with Grappler Baki. And then for Hajime Ippo, they probably wanted to have such violent boxing, you know, boxing that just has so much tense in it, so much raggedness in it, and they just thought, I thought that's how they probably thought of Hajime Ippo. And this is kind of the reason why I want to make a film, because I've got messages to prove to the world out there, and you know, all the violent ideas that I do have are all going into this film, really. This is kind of why I keep pressuring myself, yeah, doing music and animation at the same time. And people may look at the animations I've done so far and think, well, there's nothing violent about this. Well, the situation is, right, the music, I want the music to be more on the peaceful side, unless it's music for the animation, for the violent animations, you know what I mean, right, yeah? So the animations that I do for music videos won't be really violent, unless I maybe change my mind, one of them. But I mean, like the music video I made for Just Joe's We Want to Rock, that's a happy video. The music video I made for Pulse With Current, that's a kind of a happy video as well, and that with loads of things in there all going at once, you know. I mixed animation with live action, and I enjoyed that. The next music video that I'm planning to work on, that's going to be a happy video as well, maybe a little bit adventurous, and you know, but any other things I want to do, any other ideas I have in my head, yeah, that's just violent, you know, probably going to go into my film, or may go into anything else that I have, really. I mean, if you guys seen the teaser that I've made for Plumhead versus Spotty, I'm pretty sure you guys might have seen that video. It's a very old one. If you type in Plumhead versus Spotty, the video will come up, and you may see the teaser that I have for that, where I show a little bit how violent I could be, but it's only just a tiny thing. But animation basically came from me always wanting to fight, always showing people, always showing I wanted to fight, always showing how I love fighting, and then all the animation, all the ideas that I just have, I thought, you know what, let me put this into animation. Also, I did actually manage to see later on some 3D animations, which also got me into 3D, because I mean, like, there was loads of different type of animations at the time, but then I wanted to get to 3D animation because I saw how people could animate that a bit more easier. Like, if I was to do a 2D animation, right, yeah, you'd basically have to draw your character in a pose, and draw him again into another pose, draw him again to another pose, and draw him again, and draw him again for any movement he probably does. That's what sometimes you have to do, unless you use the computer with it a bit ways, which ways I can't really understand. But with 3D animation, you do a character once, set him up, and boom, you can just use that character for anything you want to do, make him move, do everything. So I thought 3D animation is quite a bit easier on that there. Unfortunately, it is time consuming. It is a bloody time consuming procedure, but I'm learning every way I can to make it faster, you know. That's why I don't really want to give up. I just want to continue it, really. Yeah. So I'm going to get into a situation that people are a little bit moaning about. I know some people want me to give up animation and work on only music, you know. I mean, the thing I got to say to you guys, yeah, I know if it is pretty true that if I did give up animation, I could come out with more music albums more quickly and more fluently, right? Yeah. But I do feel at the same times, music yeah, doesn't always. Music can always come out, but you can't always just keep doing music all the time, and then no music videos for any of it. It's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad thing, really. One of the things I always wanted to do was an album. I've done the album already. One of the things I always want to do is a film. That's not done yet. So that's why these things are sort of clashing with each other at the moment. Now, I'm not starting on the film yet because I want to get a few more albums for you guys done now, but I still want to do at least some music videos, so I got something to bring the album out with. Because if I just keep doing music, and not bring out music videos for them, yeah, this has been said by a few artists already, that you'd basically you'd basically just be an underground artist, yeah. You won't have the chance to even get your music heard on TV. Even though I've done a music video for Pulsarific Current, no TV channel accepted it. I just say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. My first music video didn't get onto TV. Hopefully the 5th one does. I will always keep trying again. So, and sometimes, I mean, so many other people, yeah, in the world always does more than one thing. You know, you've got people who are actors, like, you know, film actors, and they're also musicians. You know, Adam Deacon said on Adulthood Special Features that it's good to not always just stick to one thing, do two things, right? So I decided animation and music is all I got. It's all I feel I have, you know, and I enjoy both of them. I enjoy making music and I enjoy making animations, and I always just want to be in a position here to do both of them, really, for forever, you know. So hopefully people can understand everything, and you know, and now you kind of know, yeah, why I got into both of them, really, why I got into music, why I got into animation. So that's what I've got to say, yeah, for the first video for 2010. I think I've got a few other videos I may talk about here soon, so look out for those videos, guys. So thanks very much. I'll see you all later.